My teenage years were very much rooted in the 80s. And, certainly most teenage girls then, I don't know if it's so much of a thing now, but most teenage girls back then, their first crush is a pop star. Mine certainly was. And I Would Die For You is the story of what happens when that all-consuming infatuation goes too far. So set in the iconic 1980s, Cassie is obsessed with Ben Edwards, and who is the lead singer with Secret October. They're the band of the moment. And there isn't much that she won't do to get close to him. But he's got eyes on someone else. A chance meeting with Cassie's sister, Nicole, makes him realise that his groupie days are behind him. And when Cassie finds out, not only does her obsession take a rather dark turn, but she's determined to take back what she believes is rightfully hers at whatever cost. And fast forward, so that's kind of set back in 1986. And then we fast forward to the present day, and we see the devastating impact that Cassie's actions had on Nicole, and the ghosts that she's been running from sort of ever since, as she's tried to rebuild her life thousands of miles away. She's now based in California. But now, as I say, present day, Cassie's back to finish what she started, and she will take no prisoners, not even her own sister. My 80s was spent certainly between the ages of 13 and 16 following Duran Duran. And when I say follow Duran Duran, I was at every hotel, every airport, every time they were in a recording studio, I was there. Every time they were live at the BBC, I was there. I was outside their houses. Sorry, guys. I was living and breathing them. So this for me was a real easy, easy ride. This was the easiest book I've ever written, because I was absolutely back there. Again, a lot of the instances in the book actually happened to me. And I have such great fond memories of it. I just had such a brilliant time. We had a really good relationship between us and the band. It was kind of a mutually kind of beneficial thing. Well, that's what I thought at the time. I hope it was. They knew us by name. We tried not to cross the line, but I do appreciate now at my age that looking back, we did, which I do apologise for. But it was just such a brilliant, brilliant time. As you say, everything about the 80s and the innocence and just the fact that we didn't have phones, and my mother didn't know where I was from one day to the next at 50. And I was literally just going up and down the country following Duran Duran and having the time of my life. So this was a really, really easy one for me to write. But obviously I had to throw in the kind of thriller element. So yeah, there is murder, mystery and intrigue entwined in all that, or entwined in my own experience. 25 years have passed. And she's back to cause havoc, and claim back what she believed was rightfully hers and what she believed Nicole took away from that. But we don't know exactly what that is. All the way through. Actually, we don't know what that is. I actually write as if I'm reading it, which is a bit of an odd thing to say, but I just tend to write, and then I'll get to the end of a chapter, and then I'll just put a line in that means I have to turn the page again. That I don't ever want a reader to kind of get to the end of a chapter and think, okay, that's a really good place to stop. I'm going to put it down on my bedstand now and go to sleep. I don't ever want a reader to feel that way about my books. I want them to read that last line of each chapter, and I try to do it on every single chapter, which that's not easy either. So I probably don't pull it off all the time, but at the end of every chapter, I want the reader to just go, oh, God damn it, I'm going to have to read another chapter now. So it's that kind of propelling, keeping that pace up. And so, yeah, I'm kind of, when I'm writing, it's as if I'm reading it. That's what I find works for me.